I'm Yvette Pierce.
I'm Matt Pierce, and I'm from Republic, Missouri.
My name is Audrey Pierce. I live in Republic, Missouri.
We were 12, 8, and then Audrey is a newborn. And that was not something that we were planning to do, but got pregnant with Audrey. And just because there was such a large gap, I think, between our kids, that whenever she started to get colicky and not feel good and fussy, we thought, well, maybe it's because we're inexperienced parents again. And so we had several rounds where we went back and forth to the doctor. And beginning of the week was like a Tuesday, I think. We went in for a weight check. And then they thought that she had some acid reflux.
Between that and the fussiness, we decided to go to the doctors. And so on Tuesday morning, we're in a normal doctor's office for a visit, and we don't know that, besides a kind of colicky baby, what's going on. And Friday morning, we're in St. Louis with open heart surgery. That was a whirlwind week, and really hard to put it all together and remember that, but it was something that we had to do if she was going to survive. Audrey was in cardiac intensive care at St. Louis Children's Hospital for 7 or 8 weeks.
So I was in the room with Audrey at the foot of her bed, and the surgeon comes busting in the doors, and there are 2 double doors that fly open, and he grabs me and he goes, "I have the craziest story to share with you. You have to come back here and I'll tell you." And he tells me that there is a child downstairs that has a heart available, and do you want it? And you have to tell me, and we have to know in the next 2 hours.
For the first time since the original surgery, when we got to see her, she had color. Like her skin was pink and her lips were pink, and you're just like, whoa. And 24 hours later, she was able to come off the vent. And the vent, we never could get her off the vent. We tried 2 or 3 times, and her heart just was so sick that it couldn't do it on its own. So 24 hours post-transplant, she's off the vent and moving her head and smiling. We feel so blessed that the family donated the child's heart, and I feel fortunate because Audrey would have not survived without a new heart.
What was happening was Audrey was getting lymphoma, and it was presiding mostly in her belly. And by the time that we got up to St. Louis and got it figured out, it was, in multiple areas.
If you're immunosuppressed, your body doesn't fight it off like a normal person, and what ends up happening is those cells just start to grow, and they grow as cancer unchecked. And so when we got up to St. Louis and they did a PET scan, you could see her whole belly was just dark with cancer spots, and it was up in her neck, really heavy in her belly, and then down into her pelvis area. And so it didn't take them long to figure out that was, they took us off the cardiac floor and we got moved to the oncology floor. And Audrey was in the hospital for almost a month. She had a port put in, she had a biopsy, they do the whole 9 yards, and we started our chemotherapy in the hospital. She was cognizant of how poor she felt and how hard it was. And both of us mentioned when we would stay with her that she'd wake up in the middle of the night and have to use the bathroom. And of course you have to take the tripod of medicines and wires and cords and take her into the bathroom, and her little legs were so skinny, and her belly was distended because of the cancer, and you're 3 o'clock in the morning, you're going to the bathroom, and you just don't think that a 7-year-old should not have to go through that.
She had started to have rejection, because the risk is once you take them off their meds, your body's going to start to reject the heart, and we did have a little bit of that. And so we had to have a cath procedure to see how much rejection we were having, and it was the most that we had had since she had been transplanted, which was, kind of a, okay, so we're coming down a serious path here. And then getting those two specialties to really talk it out and agree on what they were going to do moving forward was important.
Right now, Audrey plays basketball and volleyball and runs around at recess. And when you tell people what she's been through, they really look at you and they're kind of amazed. But she can do most things that her classmates can do at school. So we're super excited about that and grateful that we've made it through a heart transplant, major surgeries, a couple of other things, and cancer, and so quite a few stories, but a blessing at the end of the day, because she's with us and doing well.